Sherry and her colleagues from the disability community for organizing this. I've been involved with a number of similar kinds of panels sitting on that side of the room, and I must say it's a much more comfortable place to be over there. But I guess that you do that often enough, you have to expect to pay the piper at the end of the day. So here I am paying the piper. I hope you'll bear with me as I try. In terms of the CRPD and the Nova Scotia government, the NDP government here, I have to say to you, as it was said in my introductory remarks, I've made a life of working on the CRPD here in Nova Scotia, across Canada and around the world for 15 years. Right back from the early days of developing that convention, all through the negotiation process, and then, as Kelly mentioned, we moved into ratification of that. We worked to get the government of Canada to ratify the convention. And that happened in part because of provinces like Nova Scotia stepping up and saying that they were supportive of that happening. In any case, as I say, the CRPD has been what I've been doing for a long time. And I've traveled around the world to try to get governments to implement the convention once it's been ratified. And it's been interesting for me as a citizen of the province of Nova Scotia in the last 3 or 4 years, because I've found that an awful lot of the stuff that I've been advocating for in other provinces and other countries. Am I too loud? Coughing? Part of paying a piper too. I've found in other countries and in other jurisdictions, I've been trying to get governments to move forward on the CRPD. It's been interesting to me because here in Nova Scotia, the government has proven itself to be quite responsive over the last 3 or 4 years. We've worked on a number of specific pieces to move the convention forward and the articles of the convention. So I think I can say with surety the NDP will continue to do that. We've certainly seen a lot of commitment on the part of the government in the last 3 or 4 years to move forward on the different aspects of the convention. Those of you who know it's a very comprehensive document. It talks about the full range of human rights. And one of the challenges with any jurisdiction is to determine where to start moving on implementing a convention and so on. And I think that what we've seen here in Nova Scotia is they identified issues around housing and institutionalization as a place that needed to start, and there's been a lot of work happen around that over the last couple of years. So I think we can point to the example of what we've seen before and say that it sets a good base for us to move forward. I have -3 minutes to do my job here, so perhaps I should speak backwards. I just wanted to start out by saying thank you very much to Sherry and all the other folks who organized this. It's become a sort of a tradition in the disability community in Halifax when there's an election, a federal election, a provincial election, a municipal election. Our community gathers in this room and we grill the people who are running for office. And I think that it's a tremendously important tradition, something that we need to continue. We need, as people with disabilities, to make our voices heard in government and in our community and so on. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to participate in this. It's been an extremely interesting experience for me. I want to say a final word of closing and say, that I'm very proud to be sitting here as a representative of the NDP tonight. And I look at what the NDP has done over the last 4 years around disability in this province. And as I said at the beginning of the evening, I got involved with it and I decided to run for the nomination because I've seen some of the fantastic things that have been happening. We've just started down that road and we need to continue that work. So I hope that you'll continue to support us and to support our work as we move forward to implement the convention and to make the lives of people with disabilities here in the province equal as they should be. Thanks very much.